This presentation provides information for teachers, principals, and leaders in education on the New South Wales Teacher Accreditation Reform. Holding active accreditation with the New South Wales Education Standards Authority, NESA, is a requirement for all teachers in any New South Wales school. The requirements for teacher accreditation reflect the New South Wales Government's commitment to quality teaching in New South Wales schools. This includes ensuring that all students and children are taught by people who are suitable to teach, appropriately qualified, meet the standards for the teaching profession, and maintain their currency of knowledge by completing ongoing professional development. The Teacher Accreditation Act ensures nationally consistent child protection policies. The safety, welfare, and well-being of children and young persons is paramount. New South Wales Teacher Accreditation Reform. With over 170,000 accredited teachers in New South Wales, teaching students at over 3,300 schools, there is much to be proud of. The effect of quality teaching extends beyond the classroom, shaping the minds, memories, and lives of students long after completing school. The Australian Professional Standards for Teachers play a critical role in articulating what quality teaching looks like and the impact it has on students, children, and the broader educational community. The Teacher Accreditation Reform ensures a consistent approach to ensuring a high-quality workforce in New South Wales, with NESA now making all accreditation decisions for teachers. To ensure a more consistent approach towards accreditation decisions, NESA will now be making all accreditation decisions for teachers across all accreditation levels. These changes will improve teacher accreditation processes. The introduction of an assessment for suitability to teach for initial and ongoing accreditation is one of the key new requirements that addresses the recommendations from the Royal Commission. This means that all Australian teacher regulatory authorities will apply a consistent approach to child safety. Together, reforms that strengthen child protection requirements and streamline the New South Wales teacher accreditation process will have a positive impact on our high-quality workforce. From the 29th of November 2022, NESA will make all accreditation decisions for all teachers in New South Wales. This change means teachers from the 3 school sectors and early childhood services will have the same accreditation decision maker and a consistent process for the first time. A Suitability to Teach assessment is being introduced in February 2023 for teachers applying for initial accreditation or re-accreditation in New South Wales. NESA may also assess the suitability of an accredited teacher following a relevant notification being made to NESA. Some key changes to the Proficient Teacher accreditation processes have been implemented to streamline processes. We will now explain these changes in more detail. NESA's role in teacher accreditation is outlined in the New South Wales Teacher Accreditation Manual, known as the TA Manual. For Proficient Teacher accreditation, the principal will now make a recommendation to NESA based on the teacher's documentary evidence, the observation report completed by the accreditation supervisor, and the accreditation supervisor's declaration. NESA will then make the accreditation decision based on the principal's recommendation. For teachers who are maintaining Proficient Teacher or the higher levels of accreditation, the principal will now make an attestation to NESA as to whether the teacher has continued to maintain their practice in relation to the relevant standards. NESA will then make the maintenance decision based on the principal's attestation and the teacher's professional development record. Teachers maintaining at the higher levels must also complete a reflective maintenance report. For teachers applying for accreditation at the voluntary levels of highly accomplished or lead teacher, NESA will make the accreditation decision based on the assessment of the teacher's application by NESA-trained HALT assessors. NESA is responsible for assessing whether members of the teaching profession in New South Wales are suitable to teach. From February 2023, NESA may conduct an assessment of suitability to teach when a person applies for initial accreditation or re-accreditation, or at other times as required. Teachers in New South Wales must maintain integrity and good professional standing in their conduct and reflect the standards that the community expects of teachers as representatives of the profession. Applicants for initial accreditation or re-accreditation must declare any conduct, behaviour or criminal history that is likely to impact on their suitability to teach. Based on this declaration, NESA may request additional information. The following slides will outline what remains the same as well as the key changes related to applying for Proficient Teacher Accreditation. Teachers must achieve Proficient Teacher Accreditation within a set time frame based on their employment at the time that they were initially accredited. Teachers are still allocated an accreditation supervisor by their principal to support them through the process to achieve Proficient Teacher. Teachers are still required to develop their teaching practice through engaging in a range of professional activities across the 3 domains, including teaching experience, reflection, and seeking guidance and feedback from colleagues. Documentary evidence requirements remain the same. Teachers are required to collect documentary evidence which is developed through the course of their daily work, engage in professional activities, and reflect on their practice. To finalise their application, they must select 5 to 8 items of documentary evidence from their collection, each addressing 2 to 4 standard descriptors, for submission in their NESA online account, ETAMS. The selected documentary evidence does not need to demonstrate all 37 standard descriptors, but it must collectively address at least one standard descriptor from each of the 7 Proficient Teacher standards. Write annotations for the selected items of documentary evidence in their NESA online account, ETAMS. Organise an observation of their teaching practice with their accreditation supervisor. The observation may be face-to-face or recorded. And upload their accreditation supervisor's observation report in their NESA online account, ETAMS. The following changes to Proficient Teacher Accreditation will take effect from the 29th of November 2022. A mandatory online Proficient Teacher orientation course, the removal of the Accreditation Supervisor's report, and NESA making the accreditation decision. All provisional and conditional teachers who open an application to work towards Proficient Teacher after the 29th of November 2022 must complete NESA's online Proficient Teacher orientation course before finalising their accreditation. NESA recommends that teachers complete the orientation course in the first 3 months of becoming provisionally or conditionally accredited, but it must be completed before submitting a Proficient Teacher application. The course is accessed through NESA's online learning management system and can be completed as often as needed. It is also recommended that teachers attend a NESA workshop on working towards Proficient Teacher Accreditation. Teachers can register to attend one of the courses, which can be found on the Courses and Events page on the NESA website. Accreditation supervisors are no longer required to write a supervisor report on a teacher's practice against each of the 7 standards. Instead, the accreditation supervisor makes a holistic judgment as to whether the teacher's practice aligns to all 37 standard descriptors at the Proficient Teacher level based on their observation and knowledge of practice, professional conversations with the teacher throughout the accreditation period, and the selection of 5 to 8 items of annotated documentary evidence of practice demonstrating the teacher's practice at the level of the Proficient Teacher standards. When the accreditation supervisor makes a holistic judgment as to whether the teacher's practice meets the standards for Proficient Teacher, they will make a declaration to the teacher's principal. Under the Teacher Accreditation Reform, NESA makes all accreditation decisions. When conditional or provisional teachers and their accreditation supervisor agree that the Proficient Teacher application is ready, the submission still occurs through ETAMS. When the accreditation supervisor makes a holistic judgment as to whether the teacher's practice meets the standards for Proficient Teacher, they will make a declaration to the principal within 28 days of receiving the application. The principal will review the application and make an accreditation recommendation to NESA within 28 days of the declaration. The final part of the process is the accreditation decision, which is made by NESA within 28 days of receiving the principal's recommendation. If NESA's decision is to accredit at Proficient Teacher, the teacher will start their first maintenance period. The following slides will outline what remains the same, as well as the key changes related to maintaining Proficient Teacher accreditation. The timeframes for teachers to maintain their accreditation remain unchanged. Teachers can provide evidence of employment to NESA to adjust their timeframe from 5 to 7 years if they are working on a part-time or casual basis. The following requirements apply to all teachers maintaining Proficient Teacher accreditation. Maintain their accreditation by continually demonstrating your teaching practice in relation to the standards. Have a valid Working with Children check to maintain their accreditation. Pay an annual accreditation fee to maintain their accreditation. Complete 100 hours of professional learning, and submit their maintenance of accreditation to their principal in the final 3 months of their accreditation timeframe through their NESA online account, ETAMS. They will see a green tick in their NESA online account when they have met the PD requirements. A teacher's new maintenance of accreditation cycle begins the day after their last maintenance period finishes. Teachers known as pre-2004 teachers have an extended timeframe to submit their maintenance, which will be explained in the next few slides. As you know, teachers are required to complete 100 hours of PD across their maintenance period, including PD in the 4 priority areas. Courses accredited in the following 4 priority areas will contribute to your accredited PD hours. Delivery and assessment of New South Wales curriculum or early years learning framework as applicable. Student-child mental health. Students or children with a disability. And Aboriginal education and supporting Aboriginal students or children. Depending on when you started your current maintenance period will depend on your PD requirements. For teachers whose current maintenance period started before the 29th of November 2020 and have not completed their 100 hours of PD by the 1st of January 2022, they must complete a minimum of 1 NESA accredited PD course in a priority area. For this current maintenance period, you do not need to complete PD in all 4 priority areas. Any remaining PD hours can be made up of a combination of accredited PD and or elective PD. Elective PD activities should meet the elective PD guidelines, which are on the NESA website. Over the past 2 years, in recognition of the continued growth that teachers undertook in response to the pandemic, NESA granted 10 hours of NESA accredited PD to all teachers actively maintaining accreditation in 2020 and 2021. These PD hours were in the priority area of delivery and assessment of New South Wales curriculum or early years learning framework. There is no need to evaluate this PD. For teachers whose current maintenance period began after the 29th of November 2020, the following PD requirements apply. A minimum of 100 hours of PD must be completed. At least 50 of your PD hours must be NESA accredited PD across all 4 priority areas, as set out by the Minister for Education and Early Learning, and the remaining 50 hours being a combination of accredited PD and/or elective PD activities. For teachers actively maintaining accreditation in 2020 and 2021, in recognition of the continued growth that teachers undertook in response to the pandemic, NESA granted 10 hours of NESA accredited PD towards your PD hours. These PD hours were in the priority area of delivery and assessment of New South Wales curriculum or early years learning framework. There is no need to evaluate this PD. Elective PD is flexible, allowing teachers to choose which areas they want to focus on to grow their practice to improve student outcomes. Elective PD may include activities completed in or outside of school that meet the standards, are appropriate for the individual teacher's context and needs, and contributes to their ongoing professional learning. Elective PD must be aligned to the standards at the applicable accreditation level or above. Teachers can use elective PD guidelines to help them decide and reflect on what is appropriate and effective professional learning to improve student outcomes. The elective PD guidelines can be used as reflective questions to help teachers plan their professional learning, including: did the activity enhance teaching practice? Did it link to clear and relevant goals? Was it job embedded? Did it involve opportunities to give and receive feedback? Was it research-based and evidence-based? Teachers can read more about the elective PD guidelines and activities on the NESA website. For teachers known as pre-2004 teachers, an optional extension to your maintenance timeframe is available. For teachers who were teaching prior to 2004 and were eligible to become accredited at Proficient Teacher on the 1st of January 2018, known as pre-2004 teachers, NESA has provided an optional extended timeframe in which you are able to finalise your first maintenance of accreditation cycle. You will have a one-off opportunity to reset your maintenance of accreditation date. This means once you submit your maintenance to your principal and they attest you have maintained your practice at the standards, NESA will consider the principal's attestation and make an accreditation decision. You will start your maintenance period the day after NESA makes the accreditation decision for you. For full-time pre-2004 teachers with a maintenance period due date between 31st of December 2022 and 31st of December 2023 who have not taken a leave of absence, you may submit your maintenance declaration for your first maintenance period from the start of Term 2 2022 until the 31st of December 2023. For part-time or casual pre-2004 teachers with a maintenance due date between the 31st of December 2024 and the 31st of December 2025 who have not taken a leave of absence, you may submit your maintenance declaration for your first maintenance period from the start of Term 2 2024 until the 31st of December 2025. It is not a requirement to finalise your maintenance early, and you can wait until the extended due date. However, submitting your maintenance now means any PD hours completed over your current 100 hours will count towards your new maintenance period. Your maintenance due date in ETAMS will not change to reflect the optional extended timeframe. So what has changed for maintaining your accreditation? Under the Teacher Accreditation Reform, NESA will now make decisions for all accreditation levels. Teachers will still submit their maintenance to their principal in the final 3 months of their timeframe through ETAMS. The principal will make the attestation as to whether the teacher has continued to maintain their practice aligned with the standards at Proficient Teacher level by the end of their maintenance period. The principal will also take into consideration whether the teacher has met the PD requirements for their maintenance period and may review the teacher's professional development progress report. The final part of the process is the accreditation decision, which is made by NESA within 28 days of receiving the principal's attestation. NESA's decision will be based on the principal's attestation and the teacher's professional development progress report. NESA will notify the teacher of the accreditation decision by email. Where NESA decides that the teacher has maintained their accreditation, they will start a new maintenance period the day after their current maintenance period ends. For various reasons, teachers may take time away from teaching to do other things and may like to apply for a leave of absence and put their accreditation on hold. If you are taking a break from teaching for at least 6 consecutive months and a maximum of 5 years, you may apply for a leave of absence from NESA to put your accreditation on hold. This means the time frame for meeting your accreditation requirements is adjusted by the period of time you were away from teaching. A leave of absence pauses your accreditation time frame for the period of leave. You cannot teach in a New South Wales school while on a leave of absence. While on a leave of absence, you can still log into your NESA online account to update your details. You are not required to complete professional development while on a leave of absence. However, if you choose to, you can continue to engage in and log PD. Your name will not appear on the New South Wales Public Register of Teachers while on a leave of absence. You can no longer apply for a retrospective leave of absence for leave you have previously taken. All applications for a leave of absence are for a future leave of absence from your accreditation, which can be applied for in your NESA online account, or ETAMS. If you didn't apply for a previous leave of absence and feel you have had limited opportunities to meet your accreditation requirements, you may apply to NESA for an extension of your accreditation timeframe of up to 2 years. An extension request can be applied for in the final 6 months of your timeframe, and you will be required to supply evidence of your time away from teaching to support your application. You need to apply to NESA for a leave of absence in advance in your NESA online account, ETAMS. Leave from your employer as a teacher is separate from a leave of absence with NESA. In your NESA online account, you will need to identify your start date. This must be the day you apply or a future date. You cannot backdate a leave of absence. Your end date. The period away must be a minimum of 6 consecutive months and a maximum of 5 years. You will be able to amend your end date in your NESA online account, ETAMS, as long as the total time away remains between 6 months and 5 years. You can also cancel your leave of absence at any time if you return to teaching. NESA may waive your annual accreditation fee if you are taking continuous leave for more than 6 months of the current calendar year. To qualify for a fee waiver, you must apply for your leave of absence in your NESA online account, ETAMS, by the 27th of January of the year you are taking leave and meet the requirements outlined on the NESA website. If you wish to return to teaching, you must ensure you have a current Working with Children check clearance, or if you don't have up-to-date clearance, apply for a new one and update it in your NESA online account. Pay any outstanding NESA fees. When your leave of absence ends, your accreditation timeframe will be reactivated and you will be able to return to teaching in a New South Wales school or service. If you are planning not to teach in a New South Wales school, but wish to remain accredited and connected to the teaching profession, you may choose Non-practising Teacher Accreditation. This puts your accreditation timeframe on hold indefinitely and provides for a seamless return to teaching in a school in the future. You can return to active accreditation at any time to return to teach. Non-practising teacher accreditation will become available in 2023. While you are a non-practising teacher, you must pay the annual teacher accreditation fee, must hold a current Working with Children check clearance, remain subject to Suitability to teach requirements, are not required to complete professional development but may choose to or to demonstrate practice against the standards, cannot finalise your maintenance requirements. If you have any questions about the changes to teacher accreditation, please email NESA. Thank you.